Hey, what is going on, guys? We got a good video for y'all today. Something that I've been getting asked a lot about, and yeah, want to share my experiences. So let's jump on into it. All right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about the Beyerdynamic DT990 headphones. These are the pros. They're 250 ohm, and yeah. If you feel like you've seen them before, it's because you probably have. There's a lot of different streamers that use them, and everyone keeps asking me why. So obviously, I'm one of those people, like, I love audio. Like, audio to me is such a big thing in gaming, and so I'm always, trying to find something, the best. I'm always trying to find like that best headphone, or that best audio quality, and I kept seeing these reoccur and decided, why not try them out? So, went to Google, started doing some digging, and I found these headphones and kind of information on them, but nothing really specific. All the reviews are kind of just real light, and this is what they are, this is the specs, and yeah, I liked them or I didn't like them. And so I thought I could bring something maybe a little bit more for you guys, and hopefully that's what I do. So diving into it, there are 250 ohm headphones. So what does that mean? That means it takes a lot of power to power these headphones. So when I say a lot of power, I literally mean a lot of power. So what that means for you is, if you buy these headphones and you plug them into a controller, it's not going to go well. Buy these headphones, plug it into your phone, tablet, or anything like that, it's not going to work. There is some PCs that have enough power to power the headphones, just plugging it in the back. But it still might not actually put it at its full potential, which was kind of the interesting part that I ended up finding out about. So I got these off of Amazon for $130. Now, speaking in high-end headphones for gaming, that's a pretty good price, considering, you could get the Steel-Series, the wireless pros, and spend like $400. You could go with the Astro A40s and spend $250. Or you could go with the A50s and spend even more than that. So, from price point, they're looking pretty good. Now, sitting at $130, 250 ohm, there's certain differences with this headphone that really actually fit me well. One, I play from a desk. So, it being wired, not an issue. Now, I will say, so you have this long coiled wire. You guys can see, hold on. Right? So it is long, but impressively enough, this coil wire stretches all the way to where I can walk to the back of the room without actually having to unplug my headphones. So I just wanted to kind of keep that in mind. That's a pretty good distance. But it is still a wired headphone. So keep that in mind. Now, with some of this style of headphones, the cord is detachable. In this case, it is not. See if I can get some better light. So it is not detachable. Now, I gotta say, as far as looks go, I actually really enjoy the way these look. It's such a clean yet simple design. So I actually like the way they look. They're just simple but yet look good. So I give it a plus there. Now, one of the things that you're going to notice is it's got this very plush fabric, right? Almost like to the camera, it almost looks like velvet. It's not velvet. It's just a very plush material. I was kind of curious about this. Honestly, I was worried about it when ordering it, because I was constantly, one of my things is like, I hate when you get so hot underneath your headphones, and it's just not an enjoyable experience. I haven't sweated in them, which is really awesome. Even doing long streams or long gaming sessions, haven't sweated in them. I don't know how, but they've actually stayed extremely cool. And I don't know if that has anything to do with the Plush Design, because it just doesn't make sense, or if it's because these are an open back headphone. So what does that mean? So you're going to hear a lot of people, when looking this up, people are like, oh, it's very airy sounding. It's very clear sounding. It's hard to put a description on it. So I'm going to do my best here for the other gamers. One of the neat experiences with using an open back headphone. So what that means is, so here's the Still Series. It's solid right here, right? It's completely closed housing for the headphone. Whereas with this, it's vented. It's open back here. You can literally see the speaker. So, what does that mean for you? To explain how the open back headphone sounds as far as in a game, the best way I could describe it would definitely be, it sounds real life. So when I say that, I mean, if you were to stand in a room, right, and imagine the things in the game happening around you, that's kind of how it sounds. Instead of it sounding, muffled and loud and just over dramatic, it sounds like it's real life. Like it's not hitting your eardrums with bass hits and stuff like that. It just sounds like it's actually happening. It's not right up on you. It's hard to describe how it actually sounds, but it sounds as if you were to go out. So like if you go outside in a game, it would sound like it's actually outside, not like you're just hearing all the noises. Because when you walk outside, you don't hear the bird chirping right next to your ear. You hear it in the tree over there. So it somehow it has that effect where it's not right up on you. It actually sounds the way it should, which I didn't think I would appreciate as much as I do. But playing some games that aren't like FPS games, it was actually extremely nice. Now playing FPS games, it was actually really, really nice too. Playing Modern Warfare, R6 and stuff, it was really nice because there's certain noises in those games that just hit your ears so hard, and it almost rattles you more than does you any good. And giving it that more realistic sound profile, it doesn't hit as hard, and it actually allows you, to me personally, it allows you to be more reactive. That was probably the best way I could describe the open back sound. Some people would say it sounds like you're listening to speakers in your room. It would kind of be that way, mainly because obviously, again, speakers aren't right up on your ears. They have a little more distance to you, so it sounds a little more natural. So think of it as, I guess you could possibly call it like having speakers all the way around the room, and that's what you would kind of get, because it's not right on you, but you're still able to hear everything clearly. So that's the best way I could describe open back, because I feel every video I saw when kind of looking into this and everything I read, it just did not describe the way that it actually sounded. So that's my best description for that. Now, let's talk about, to me, especially if you're a first-person shooter player, one of the absolute most key factors in a headphone, and that is positional audio. So what I mean by positional audio, or you could also, a lot of people call it directional audio, is say if an enemy behind you to the right shoots, do you actually hear it behind you and to the right, instead of just to your right or front right, or etc, etc, etc. I will say I was highly impressed, absolutely highly impressed with the directional audio on this headphone. And I think the open back design really helps the directional audio, because I think when it's closed, right, and that sound happens, you might hear it and it might actually, be positioning that sound correctly, but because it's so closed, you're just hearing it, right? So especially if they're closer to you, a lot of times you're just like, oh, like it's just there, so you can't really tell if it's behind you or to the right. That's my take on it. But the directional audio is actually really good, and I think a lot of that has to do with the open back design. On top of that, this is a company that literally just makes headphones. They don't make keyboards, they don't make anything else. They just make headphones, and they're known for having really high quality speakers in them, and I feel that actually comes out. They're not a gaming company, they're literally a headphone company. So I think that really shows true here. Now, is there anything super fancy about the headphones other than how good the speakers are? No, there's absolutely nothing fancy about these. They're headphones, legitimately headphones. Like there's nothing else to them. The top here, I'm gonna try to get some close-ups as well, but the top here, it just unsnaps, and underneath that is just a metal band and a wire. That's it. You've got the Plush Design. I will say these are absolutely top notch for comfort for me personally. My girl tried these headphones and didn't actually find them quite comfortable. Like I said, I personally think out of all the headphones we've had or tried, they've been the most comfortable. I'm also the only one that gamed in them, but she had just gotten her new headphones, which we will be doing a review on those at another time. But as far as these have gone, I have absolutely loved them. They've been super solid. Now, one thing I want to go ahead and finish up topic wise is the simple fact of power. So power wise, again, if I have a little amp here and I plugged it into it first and the sound was there, the first thing I noticed is I turned everything to max volume and it was still there. I could still hear everything, but it wasn't quite what I wanted volume wise. I was like, okay, we're gonna have to bring up power a little bit. So I pulled out the Astro Mix amp and it still didn't have enough power. So now I can 100% use the Astro amp anytime, no problem. It still is more than, it's still enough to power these headphones. But my recommendation would definitely to be use something like the Sound Blaster. I think that would probably be your best bet. And in key factors, that's where you're probably going to get your absolute best sound stage, because it's going to be able to power the headphones fully, whereas the Astro will power them and make them 100% usable and satisfying, but it's still, you're never going to turn it up all the way and it be too much. So it kind of hits like that sweet spot, like right at 100. So I wanted to go ahead and keep that in mind. Now, going a little further into it, one thing as a streamer I extremely appreciate with these headphones is this little piece right here. So what this little piece is a piece is just like any aux cord or anything. It is the plug, but it's a much bigger one. So For instance, this is your standard 3.5. This is the other one it comes with, and it just screws on top of this one. So, why would this benefit me? As a streamer, you're constantly dealing with audio issues. If you guys stream or do YouTube, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, with that being said, my mix amp has a headphone jack, but it's not a 3.5, it's this bad boy. And this is the same type of headphone that would plug into guitars or amps or anything like that. And when I say amps, I'm talking about big amps. But it's also the same jack that's used for plugging into mixing boards, which then allows me to plug this straight in my mixer and listen to all of my audio feedback in real time without having to stream to a fake account and listen to audio or anything like that. It allows me just to, boom, put it right there, listen to it, and do my EQ as I need. That to me is really nice, and I've literally so many times debated just buying a cheap pair of headphones that had the jack so that I could do that, and with this I get the best of both worlds out of it. Really appreciate that, and I think that is just an absolutely awesome design to kind of have that 2-in-1 combo. So, who would I not recommend? Kind of wanted to go ahead and touch up on this. Who would I not recommend for this headphone? So, one of the points in buying this headphone was a lot of times, as you guys know, if you have ever hung out over on Twitch, I will put that right there. If you have hung out on Twitch, then you more already know I am a dad of 2 and have the missus as well. So a lot of times someone tries talking to me and I absolutely cannot hear them. And you get the what? Really? So to avoid that, the open back headphones actually make life a lot easier, and I'm able to hear other people when they do talk to me. To me, that's a bonus, but if you're in a loud environment and say you don't stream or anything, that I could see being annoying. I could see that being a problem. So take that into consideration when looking at these headphones. If you live in a loud environment and you think that it would be extremely distracting to your gaming, I would say these might not be the headphones for you. And they do have some closed back versions of these headphones, and I would probably say to go ahead and look into those. But if that isn't an issue, I would tell you guys to seriously think about these headphones. Now, the cloud lifter, I could be wrong. You know what? Hold up. We're going to double check because I don't want to give you guys the wrong advice here. Oh my gosh. I said cloud lifter. Oh my lord. It's Sound Blaster. I am so sorry, guys. All right. So the Sound Blaster is going to run you about $150. You can find them on Amazon. If you're looking closely, you can find them sometimes for $70. Just click on them and then you'll see like other buy options. Click those, and a lot of times you can find them for much cheaper. But Sound Blaster are going to run you about $150. Sometimes you can find them also on Amazon for like $125. But like I said, if you really pay attention and look at the other buy options, a lot of times you can find them for about $70. Now, what could be, there's a lot of different other options out there. I've seen where some people just change their sound card on their PC. Some PCs actually a lot of PCs can just run the headphones right out of the jack. They just have the power to do so. Other than that, like I said, if you have an old Astro mix amp, it will run these just fine. I use it all the time on my Astro mix amp with no issues at all. I also plug this thing into the little preamp on my Logitech speakers for my other computer when I'm editing and only want to listen to that computer. It also sounds fine. I wouldn't game with it on that little preamp, but it is more than enough for editing and stuff, and and catching those little details. So, wanted to go ahead and point that out. Obviously, where these headphones shine is where they're meant to shine, and that's music. Listening to music is awesome with these headphones. So if you're a gamer and a really big music lover, you're gonna love these. They sound amazing. Like, I'm telling you right now, sound amazing. But I'm gonna kind of wrap it up there, guys. I really am. I could keep going, but I feel like then it's just gonna turn into a rant. So I'm actually gonna wrap it up right there. And if you guys have any other questions, you're more than welcome to come over on Twitch. I'll always answer your questions. We're live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at night. And also just comment down below. I'm usually extremely fast about responding to comments, and I appreciate when you guys leave them. So if you have any other questions whatsoever on these headphones, just hit me up in the comments or over on Twitch, and I will answer them immediately. You guys can also check me out over on Twitter and Instagram as well. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you're new around here, smash sub button. We do anything gaming, streaming, or YouTube. And yeah, we're gonna leave it there. Deuce, fam.